Hey guys, welcome back to another action figure review. We're taking another look at McFarlane Toys' Warhammer Darktide series with the Megafig sized Ogryn. On the back of the box we have a picture of the figure itself equipped with its Ripper gun accessory. And on the side, a close-up of the figure with the Darktide logo and figure name. Like most McFarlane figures, you can open the box without having to tear the cardboard open, sliding the plastic figure tray out. But in order to get the standout, you will have to tear the plastic from the cardboard. It's a shame because it would have made a nice background otherwise. Ogryns are big, tough abhumans serving the Imperial Guard as close assault shock troopers. Abhumans are descendants of humans who have physically evolved due to the harsh worlds they have been isolated in. In this case, Ogryns evolved on worlds with high gravity and extreme environments. Due to their low intelligence, Ogryns are often deployed with simple to use weaponry that are considered to be Ogryn proof, as anything more complicated would be used as a club instead. Some rare Ogryns actually possess a small amount of intelligence. These Ogryns are selected and recruited to become Ogryn squad leaders. They're upgraded with biochemical Ogryn neural enhancement or bone upgrades. These Ogryns are given the nickname Bonehead. Ogryns are extremely loyal. They believe that all commands come down from the chain of command all the way from the Emperor himself, and will do anything their leaders say and ask. This Ogryn figure is based off of official promotional art, wearing armor not yet introduced into the Darktide video game. Let's take a look at the details. The first thing we notice is the tattoo on the forehead, a two-headed eagle sigil that represents the Imperium of Man. Bright blue eyes shine from the darkened skin around the eyes where small wrinkles are sculpted onto the skin. The mouth is slightly open in a snarl expression, where we can see some of the teeth showing and the lips painted a darker skin tone. The head is completely bald and clean shaven as well. More details like the cheekbones, an ear, and rough texture in the skin can be seen on the side. The black armored chest has a white Inquisition logo stamped onto the black armor, and other details like bolts scattered around the armor with large scratches and dents. On top we have a large belt wrapping around the chest attached to the armor with a large chain link, textured in a cracked leather effect. Underneath we have a thick brown shirt sculpted with ridges and small tears in the fabric. On the back, the belt wraps to the center of the back attached to another chain link. More buckles, straps, and bolts attach the armor to the body, as well as the shoulder armor to the leather harness on the back. The shoulder on the right is covered by a large piece of black armor, covered in large studs, a neck guard, and more large bolts attaching everything together. Small cracks and cuts are detailed all over the sculpting. On the left shoulder, a different design of armor is used, large black plates that stack over each other. A white painted 73-7 marking is at the front, while more large slashes and dents in the armor can be seen here. Small veins and large muscles detail the skin of the arms, with the black metal bracer strapped into the forearms. The bracer is worn out with a corroded effect in the sculpting. Padded fingerless leather gloves are worn on the hands, sculpted in a gripping pose. More muscles and veins can be seen on the left arm, with multiple tattoos of tally marks on the forearms. The fingerless leather gloves on this hand have spiked shaped knuckles. On top of a black armor plate, we have a golden Imperialis symbol, a winged skull, proving his devotion to the Emperor. On the side we have another large plate of black armor detailed with another two-headed eagle painted on, with more details like large bolts and scratches in the sculpting. Small black pouches are hanging from the belt on the back, with the large chain attaching to the belt to another pocket. Here we can see the detail of the belt itself with many belt loops and holes. The thighs are painted in a black and gray camouflage effect in a thick fiber material. A large cargo style pocket is sculpted into the legs along with wrinkles and folds in the sculpt. We wrap up the detail of the figure with the boots. Large plates of black armor are strapped onto the boots with buckles and bolts. The combat boots underneath are painted black, detailed with sections of different materials, laces, and more armor bolted onto the toes. Let's check out the articulation. We have a ball joint at the head that rotates and can bend downwards but not up. The shoulder armor is actually on its own ball joint, allowing it to rotate and bend upwards and downwards. It's made of a soft plastic that's easily removable, and lets us get a better look at the joint and shoulders. The shoulders open and rotate all around, elbows that only bend inward and rotate, wrists that rotate and bend up and down, a ball joint at the waist, but the massive size of the body and belt restrict a lot of movement in this area. Legs that open slightly, bend forward a little bit before hitting the belt sculpt, and barely bend backwards. Little to no thigh rotation. A single jointed knee that bends backwards and rotates. It's better left off in the neutral position as it's sculpted to rest that way. Ankles that twist, with a very tight up and down motion, and toes that bend upward. As a mega size figure, I'll compare it to other McFarlane toys, especially those in the Warhammer universe. This Ogryn stands at 8.5 inches tall or 21 centimeters, completely towering over human-sized figures. The scale does start to get weird with the Space Marines. And even a bit big for the Orc Megafigure as well. He's much taller compared to the other McFarlane figures. The Ogryn comes with a Ripper gun, made of a hard plastic and hollow on the inside. And we get the McFarlane stand with the Warhammer logo on it. Another mega figure by McFarlane Toys, where the size is the priority, giving the Ogryn an impressive size and weight. The Darktide series has given us a lot of unique looking figures for the Warhammer series, with the Ogryn being a figure I didn't think we would ever see made. McFarlane Toys did a fine job with the sculpting on this figure, with tons of small details to look at everywhere, and while the paint is applied lightly, it matches the promotional art pretty good. The figure itself is heavy and has thick, clicky joints that make the figure feel real bulky, able to stand up easily on its own massive weight. With the amount of scratches and dents in the armor, some weathering would have went a long way, especially on Ogryns who are supposed to be dirty and unkempt. For the accessories, we only get a Ripper gun, and while that is the iconic weapon of an Ogryn, I feel like mega figures should come with a few more accessories, especially figures like the Ogryn who pose like a brick. While the articulation is enough to get him in a shooting pose, the rest of him is just too thick to be posed dynamically. I do like how they handled the shoulder armor articulation, but the heavy belt just stops all the articulation in the legs, and the loss of double jointed elbows hurts as well. Other than a few complaints, the Ogryn is definitely a fun figure to have, one that I wouldn't have expected to have ever had in a Warhammer collection. I would have really loved the melee weapon, and a slab shield for the figure, so only having one accessory is a bit of a downside for me. It's an amazing sculpt with an accurate look to the in-game promotional art, and an Ogryn is a great figure to display with the rest of your Warhammer figures, especially next to your guardsmen. Overall, the Ogryn is a decent figure. The Mega Figure series does have a higher cost than normal figures, so if you're like me, you can wait for a sale to make the jump. For the hardcore Warhammer collector, a big heavy Ogryn figure is definitely one that you can't miss out on, especially to complete the Darktide team. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, subscribe, or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.